Ting, and she's going to talk about the infrared survey, which demonstrates and its science.
Hello everyone, I'm Ting from SIA. I'm Ting from SIA. So today I'm going to talk about my recent work about the infrared survey in goods north field. And actually my work is not directly related to Akari data, but I'm trying to emphasize on the importance of an infrared survey. Okay, so this is my outline. First, I'll talk about why infrared survey is so important and what I did for my infrared data is in astrometry, photometry, and how I did infrared to X-ray cross-matching, and using this data to compute the photometric redshift. And then what I can do using this data to study the Asian host galaxy property. Okay. So first, why infrared is so important? First reason is that the infrared is relatively insensitive to K correction. So as you can see here, if we compare the K band and I band and B band magnitude, we compare the influence of K correction, you can see that in K band the changes is quite small compared to the optical band. And the other reason is that this is we can use the infrared near-infrared band to characterize the Balmer break feature at high redshift. So if we have near band, then we can have more accurate photo-Z quality. Here's my work in good south region. So the black point are the data from the CANDLES catalog, which contains HST WC3 infrared data, and the open circle is the data from Katamone 2010, which had no HST infrared data. So you can see the difference between these two work. I would like to emphasize on the high redshift sources here. You can see that these are open circle. This open circle come from the data from Katamone 2010. After I add the HST infrared data, then all this most of the outlier disappear, right? So the near infrared data really helps a lot to decrease the photo-Z outlier. So the outlier, if we consider the object have redshift greater than 2, we can greatly improve the photo-Z quality. Okay, so from the Asian aspect, since we somewhat assumption assume that the Asian is come from the major merger, and then there's a obscured Asian. Then after the mass accretion, we will have a very clear type 1 Asian. But we all know that this assumption, this is just one of the assumptions of Asian evolution. As Yuan just say, the conclusion she said that probably major merger is not the main reason for the Asian evolution, but this is just assumption. So based on this assumption, we can see that from the early stage of Asian evolution to late stage of Asian evolution, you can see how the SCD changes. This is the UV light, optical light, and then the red line is the infrared line. You can see how the infrared luminosity changes from the early stage to late stage. So the infrared is really important to identify which stage of the agent you are looking at. So So this is from the quasar, aspect. And then the other thing is that we have to be aware that the agent you are looking at are looks different in different different wavelengths. For example, this is Centaurus A. They are heavily obscured in optical. However, they are very bright in near-infrared and mid-infrared. You can see very clearly the jet in X-ray and VLA observation. So this also tells us that the infrared and the mid-infrared observation is very important for this kind of AGN. Okay. So this is my recent result from the near-infrared survey using the CFHT telescope, and then the main area of this survey is center, that's Chandra field south, Chandra field north, and then the entire area size is 800 archimedes square, and these are the semester we observed from 2006 to 2015, so it's quite a long duration of this near-infrared survey. Okay, so this is a comparison between our work with previous work. Actually, from Yang 2014, they use the same observation from our observation, but they only use the halfway observation, probably only 2 semesters. So the exposure time is not very as long as our data. So in this work, we have complete observation data. So it's not surprised that we have deeper and have more detection in our work. Okay, so in addition to the near-infrared we also collect the data from literature. First, we collect the UV data from Galaxy telescope, and also we have optical from CAPEX 2004, and we also have IREF data from SATS survey. And we combine this data with X-ray catalog, which is the new released catalog by SU 2016. And we use X-ray data to identify AGN. Because as we know that more than 80% of X-ray detection are AGN, so we use X-ray detection as our AGN identification. Okay, so first, if we want to combine all this data together from UV, optical, near-infrared, mid-infrared to X-ray, we have to do the astrometric calibration first. We align all the images to K-band images, and then we stack ZJ-HK together to identify the near-infrared selected sources. In total, we have 94,000 detections. And then we did the cross-match between our near-infrared detection and the X-ray detection. And here I want to mention that in SU 2006, they also align all the X-ray positions to K-band from 2010. So they are all aligned to the same images, so we can do the position match directly. So finally, we have 658 X-ray sources that have ZJHK detected counterpart. So we also compare our ZJHK detection, the position of ZJHK detection with the K-band catalog from 2010, and we found that the median value of delta RA and delta DEC are quite small. So after the astrometric calibration, we have to find the X-ray counterpart. we directly use the X-ray counterpart founded from SU 2016 because they use very reliable likelihood ratio to a maximum likelihood method to find the counterpart. However, we still find 25 of X-ray detection have no ZJHK counterpart. So we visually inspect why they don't have counterparts. So these are 3 cases we have. First is from the this is our 3. I think this is a JHK, and this last column are IRAC. So you can see that from the first case, we don't have any detection in JHK, but we have very strong IRAC detection. Because we don't use IRAC for to find the counterparts, so we didn't include this one in our analysis. And the other one is we don't find any counterpart. We don't find any detection in JHK and also IRAC. The third one is that there's a very extended sources in the foreground. So we just think this probably foreground contamination. So we also didn't include this one in our analysis. So, okay. So after all this cross-matching and photometry matching, another important thing we have to do for the X-ray sources is that we have to make the agent-galaxy hybrid to do the XCD fitting. So we combine the agent template to galaxy template to get a hybrid. This is just example to compute the photo Z for the X-ray sources. And then this is the result we have. This is for the non-X-ray sources, which is the normal galaxies, and we have the quality like this. The scatter is 0.035, and we have 7.2 outliers, 70% outlier, and we compare our result with Young 2014. We slightly increase the bias. We are more centered at 0. The 0 means that the difference between the y-axis is the difference between photo Z and spec Z. And then this is the result for the X-ray sources. You can see also that we improve the scatter on the previous work. So we more picked at the difference equal to 0. So the main difference from our work in Young 2014 is that we use UV data and more deep in-infrared data, and we also use the agent-galaxy hybrid template. And then the other things I want to point out is that the UV data also change a lot, because if you see the slope in the UV band, you can see different type of galaxy have different slope in the UV band. So if I add the UV data in our SCD fitting, you can see the improvement here. The outlier fraction changed from 10% to 6.5%. Okay, so this is my summary for the near-infrared survey. And how much do I have? 2 minutes? 1 minute? Okay, so I'll quickly talk about the science I can do based on this SCD fitting. So since I use the agent-galaxy hybrid, then I can get rid of agent contribution from the SCD fitting. So that I can get the host galaxy property here. So I can use the SCD fitting result to see how the agent located in the color magnitude diagram, because as we see here, there's a red sequence ring valley and a blue cloud here, which means they probably have some evolutionary stage for the agent. So this is the agent I separated in different redshift bins, and then to see it more clearly, I plot the histogram. This is the blue cloud and red sequence So you can see, I compared galaxy and AGN. You can see most of the AGN located in the Green Valley region compared to the known galaxies. So we found that this kind of X-ray selective agent is more green than most star-forming galaxies. So this could be evidence for the AGN transition from blue to red, which is can be a kind of evidence for the AGN feedback. Okay, thank you.
Okay. Do you have any questions?
One of the picture in quasar SED in different evolution stage. One of the picture.
SED?
Yeah. Quasar SED in different evolutionary stage.
This one?
Yeah. Or in the middle stage is the 3 here.
Yes.
Okay. I just wonder is there any index of numbers so that we can distinguish which is A or which is B?
I'm not sure because A is Taurus, right? B is the, but I'm not really understand the difference between A and B. I have to check the paper here.
Oh, okay.
So, any more questions? Okay, let's move on to the next. Now.